Nebraska. The NSAA Girls State Basketball Championships on News Channel Nebraska are presented by Currency, Allo, Liberty First Credit Union, Woodhouse Auto, and by Midwest Bank.
Well, hello and welcome to high school state tournament basketball here on News Channel Nebraska alongside my pal Andy Clausen. I'm Pat Jansen. We've got Clausen's here in the arena. It's Andy Clausen. You can tell we're friends. We've got state basketball here with one of the preeminent powers in all of the history of girls state basketball, but they're not even the defending champions. They're playing defending champion Centura. They being Guardian Angels Central Catholic. We've got one heck of a storm brewing here in this first round matchup, Andy.
We really do, and we talk about parity in other classes, but how stacked is D1 this year? They have two defending state champions. With Pender moving from C2 down to D1, we have two returning state champions here at the tournament this year in D1.
A couple teams that can really get after it defensively. In fact, Centura held their sub-district final opponent Fullerton to 3 points. Meanwhile, Guardian Angels under Jerry Strachey, they've been a defensive stalwart for years. We could see a really gritty game tonight.
What I really like about Strachey and his approach to defense, he loves to utilize the zone. And why I like the zone is it keeps your post players by the rim at all times. It gets your guards out on the perimeter at all times. Everybody's in place. They play with great communication, and they turn their opponents over a lot. That's how you get those low-scoring games.
Well, we'll take a break, and we'll be back with our key players, the players to watch tonight. You're watching high school basketball on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
Back here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, Pat Jansen alongside Andy Clausen as we get set for the Class D1 clash between Guardian Angels Central Catholic and Centura. Guardian Angels Central Catholic, we mentioned, they've been a power for years, and you've maybe heard the name Steffen plenty of times, and there's another one on this roster in Kelsey Steffen, who's putting together a monster season for the Blue Jays.
She really is, and she's so versatile. If there's one thing about GACC, they kind of lack some size, some length, but she's so good with that 5'7" frame. They can use her as that hybrid forward. They can also post up down the block. She does so many things, and she does them very well for Guardian Angels.
Speaking of lacking size, Kira Wooden, not exactly big on the Centura side of things, but she plays a whole lot bigger than that for the Centurions.
Yeah, leads the team in scoring. She's also one of the leading rebounders on the team with 120 on the season. What I really like about her game is her defensive presence. Over 100 takeaways, 100 steals on the season as well. Does everything, as you mentioned, in that small 5'3", 5'4" package.
Speaking of doing everything, let's send it over to the next member of our crew, Eric McKay. Eric.
Thanks, guys. You know, it's funny how things can work out. In 2015, Kathy Mettenbrink called it a career at Centura after 34 years as girls basketball coach and 549 wins. She's elected to the Hall of Fame in 2017. But in 2015, that same summer, 109 miles away at Deschler High School, Lathion Brown was graduating as a senior, about to head to Wayne State for college. Who could possibly have known then that just 8 years later it would be Brown who would take Centura to their first ever championship in girls state basketball. Doing so at the age of 25, one of, if not the youngest state champion coach in the history of the state of Nebraska. Now, Brown was very quick last year to credit Mettenbrink and the culture that she created at Centura, setting a bar that he has continued to keep high in Cairo since then. And who knows, maybe Brown is starting a Hall of Fame career of his own, a legacy that will eventually be picked up by someone who isn't even born yet. If that's to happen, well, one thing that could help cement that would be tonight if Centura can upset the 2-seeded Guardian Angels Central Catholic and their own legendary head coach, Jerry Strachey, another 500-game winner. Two guys have already cemented their legacy as fantastic broadcasters, Hall of Famers as far as I'm concerned, Pat Jansen and Eddie Klassen. They'll be back with your starting lineups and all the action. You're watching the Class D1 quarterfinals on News Channel Nebraska.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, you know, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
To sum up the past 20 years in one word, exceptional. It's one of our core values. But our people have been truly exceptional. Our customer support has been exceptional. In 20 years, where will Allo be? When we started, we were just a business fiber company. Then the demand came from residential. Now the products of both business and residential just continue to expand. We've got to start with customers' needs and always work backwards. The customers will tell us, and our teammates will take us there.
The pregame show is sponsored by Custom Sports. Look great for every game with custom team or business apparel from Custom Sports. NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo. High-key internet for a low-key price. Want to see what games we're covering? Follow on X at NCN Sports.
State tournament basketball, we're just about set here in Lincoln, but before we get to that, we've got a national anthem. But first, let's take a look at Guardian Angels Central Catholic. 26 state appearances for the Blue Jays, now the national anthem.
Public school teachers in Nebraska make a difference in our communities. I see it every day. Teachers connecting on a personal level with students and parents make our communities stronger. Our kids do better, community pride grows, and Nebraska thrives. Maybe that's why our public schools rank in the top 10 nationally year after year. Nebraska Public Schools. They are truly the heart of our communities.
A community is described as just a smattering of houses, everybody living together, but what makes it a community are the people that live in the house. Deschler is a community of about 750 people, and those individuals living in those houses have a common goal of improving their surroundings. That's where Midwest Bank comes in. We look out for each other. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. My name is Julie, and I'm extremely proud to be part of the Deschler community.
Back here in the Bob Devaney Center alongside Andy Klassen and also the third member of our crew, Eric McKay. I'm Pat Jansen. Let's get back to the school spotlight, brought to you by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com. Guardian Angels Central Catholic, 26 state tournament appearances. Jerry Strachey has had that program rolling for years, but a little bit of a drought by their standards. It's been since 2017 since they won a state championship, Andy.
But still a model of consistency. You mentioned Coach Strachey. He's built an institution there, and it's been spinning like a top for many, many years.
getting things spinning a little bit more recently, Centura. The Centurions have been here 13 times. It took last year, though, winning the state title for them to finally get on the board with a state championship, a big comeback against Hastings St. Cecilia last year, and it was defense that did the trick for Centura.
And the young buck, Coach Brown, burst onto the scene and got that monkey off the back of Centura as far as the lone championship, and I think it was his first year at the helm. Young guy, I think he got that title when he was only 25 years old.
A young guy, he spent an early part of his life on the Cheyenne Sioux Reservation, then moved to Kansas City, then eventually up to Deschler, where, as Eric mentioned, he graduated, and then eventually went to Wayne State. I asked him earlier tonight. So they started 7-5, then finished 13-1. What was the difference? He said the defense really got rolling. We mentioned that sub-district final where they held Fullerton to 3 points. Goodness gracious, that is defense. Let's look at those starters. Kaylee Coughlin will start for the Centurions, a 5'6" forward, a senior. Kira Wooden, we mentioned her 5'3", but a spark plug. She's a senior. Also, Hope McDonald, a junior guard. Ella Rasmussen and Kennedy Davis. Davis, just a freshman, rounding out the starting lineup. She's the tallest player on the team at 6 feet tall. Meanwhile, let's look at the Blue Jays from Guardian Angels Central Catholic. Isabel Haas, a 5'5" senior guard. Addison Lubert is a 5'7" junior guard. Charlie Dinslagi, a 5'9" sophomore forward. Jocelyn Skoda, she's a 5'10" senior forward. And we mentioned the name Kelsey Steffen, averaging 12 and 7. She's a 5'7" senior forward. And Andy Klassen, the environment, we're feeling it. We're feeling it here in the Devaney Center.
We really are, and both pep bands I felt like they were kind of sparring during the pregame, trying to one-up each other with some of the numbers they were playing. Love to see that. The atmosphere is top-notch once again at the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Well, now I got to ask, Andy, what was your favorite tune in the pregame?
What was that last one we heard when we went on there? Was that Walk the Moon? Who was that? It was a pop hit that just came out a few years ago, but I was pretty impressed they already got that on the sheet music and able to pull that number off like that.
If it's not 30 years old, don't ask me, Andy. State basketball. We couldn't ask for a much bigger matchup to open up this D1 bracket in the quarterfinals. You've got defending champion. You've got possibly the team to beat in Guardian Angels Central Catholic. This is going to be something, Andy.
And it just feels like the Centurions, they just keep slaying the dragon, right? Last year, knocking off St. Cecilia, another mainstay at the state tournament, to get their first title under their belt. Get back to the state tournament, and who do they have to face off against? Oh, just a team that's been here 26 times in their tenure, during their tenure, Guardian Angels Central Catholic. They're looking for their first title since 2017.
Well, it'll be the Blue Jays controlling the tip. In the paint they go. Thought about a three-pointer. We see a block, but the first foul of the game. This one will go against the Centurions, and it's free throws for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and right away, getting that penetration, getting it down amongst the bigs and drawing that foul out. That could loom large down the stretch for Centura because they do have that height advantage, but they cannot afford to be in foul trouble.
Coughlin was who picked up the foul. Dinslagi hit the first free throw. Second is good as well, and the early advantage to the Blue Jays.
GACC going to pick them up at half court here, electing not to start off with that full court pressure.
In the paint it goes, now back out to the top of the key. Three-pointer left short by Coughlin and cleared by the Blue Jays.
Tell you what, if I'm a Centura fan, I still like that offensive possession. Decisive, inside, outside. And they also found a wide open shooter.
Speaking of a wide open shooter, it's a three-pointer for Kelsey Steffen and an early 5-point edge for the Blue Jays.
And we didn't even talk about her shooting ability from the perimeter. We talked about how so versatile she can be utilized through the post as well.
Blue Jays were looking to get out and run after the steal, but a little too much heat on the pass there.
And I tell you what, Centura, you talked about the defense. They know how to get back and recover.
Centurions looking to get on the board, trailing by 5. We're a little over a minute in. Nearly another steal by the Blue Jays. Good hustle, though, by McDonald to keep possession for the Centurions. Now a three-pointer in the corner. That one's just off to the left by Wooden. And a diving rebound attempt for the Blue Jays. Bodies all over the floor, Andy Klassen.
Yeah, right now the Blue Jays are just really outworking Centura on the boards.
And you mentioned fouls. There's another one on Centura, as this will be the second against Coughlin. That's a big early second foul.
And that was pretty obvious. Got her with the body there.
We see the instant replay, courtesy of 5 Points Bank. Nearly a steal.
Good ball movement right now.
Three-pointer was down, but traveled first.
And Steffen didn't argue it. She knew that she shuffled her feet.
You know, in some of the other games today, there's been a little bit of that hop shuffle that players take with the three-pointer. Right. If that doesn't get called right away, you can kind of play with it. But
yeah,
refs went ahead and made the call, established what the call is going to be on that tonight.
And I like that being whistled early, sending that message this in the NBA, you know, or the WNBA. Just, you know, a couple levels up, you'll get away with that second and third, fourth, fifth, step.
Another steal by the Blue Jays defense. Again, they look to run. Now patience from the Blue Jays. And just as I say that, a three-pointer fired up, but no good by Lubert. But an offensive rebound for the Blue Jays, as doing a nice job keeping that alive was Dinslagi.
GACC is doing a really nice job right there, moving the ball to the soft spots in the zone defense, looking up shooters in space.
And another three-pointer for Steffen, and it's an 8-point edge for the Blue Jays. Steffen has 6. And the thing is, she's made 3 three-pointers. Right. She had the travel on another one. We get the first foul of the game against GACC. This one will go against Lubert.
Tonight's officials, Darren Johnson, Robert Brown Jr., and Thomas Butler will make up our officiating crew.
Yeah, you don't want to give Thomas Brown Sr.
right?
credit when he didn't earn it. More bodies on the floor. This one will stick with Centura on the held ball. 32X. First quarter brought to you by John Henry's, our family serving yours. The pressure remains there, Andy, even on the inbounds pass across the midcourt line.
Yeah, that really says something about the faith you have in your defense, being able to extend it out and still stay in that zone.
Into the paint and batted away, and now Steffen wants to run with it. She does slow it up.
Steffen is having such an impact early. Already had a rebound, you have the help defense, the takeaway there. That's why she is a stat sheet stuffer.
Three-pointer and another one buried. This one by Lubert, and Lathan Brown wants a timeout. We'll take one with him. Back after this on News Channel Nebraska.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for a winning play to make your game day complete? Look no further than Speedy Mart, your family-owned neighborhood convenience store. Score big with a wide range of snacks, drinks, and fuel for the road that will keep the whole crew cheering. And here's the kicker. Our friendly atmosphere and convenient location make every visit a slam dunk. So rally the family and head to Speedy Mart for the ultimate game day experience.
Well, if you're coming down here from West Point, Andy Klassen, you got to be happy with the start.
Oh my gosh.
11-0, Guardian Angels Central Catholic.
Centura still wondering what happened. Just ran into a buzzsaw. Barrage of 3 balls, a few turnovers, and it doesn't take GACC long to get on top of you.
Centura had a couple comebacks in their run last year. This is not something that's going to shell-shock them.
You know, and if you're going to get down by double digits, I'd rather do it early than late.
Absolutely. But Guardian Angels with another steal. Fast break, and the layup is good.
Who else? Stefan with the follow. Nice look up from Haas.
Nearly a travel by Centura as the dribble was picked up, but the Centurions do get across the line. However, an over and back violation against the Centurions, and the rough start continues.
Yeah, wouldn't thought that she regained possession.
She might be right, looking at that replay.
Right.
Underneath it goes, layup good by Skoda.
It's just too easy. It's too easy right now for GACC. They're seeing this court so well, sharing the basketball, clicking on all cylinders.
And I beg your pardon, that was Dinslagi. 15-0, Guardian Angels. Three-pointer on the way and buried. Big shot from Hope McDonald, and that may be the hope that Centura needs, although Skoda gets on the board, running the floor.
And look at this.
17-3.
Look at this. No time to relax. That defense is relentless from Guardian Angels.
Timeout called by Centura to try and keep it with possession. We'll keep it here as we look at the 5-point Banks replay. And Andy Klassen, this tenacity from Guardian Angels is something. That's what Latham Brown is talking about in the huddle, trying to match that.
Yeah, they got to up their intensity, right, match that energy, and really just be smart with the basketball. I just feel like there's been too many turnovers and 50-50 balls that are just going the way of Central Catholic right now. And Centuria, let's be honest, they're going to have to start knocking down shots, and that was a good start with that 3-ball we just saw from McDonald. Maybe try and find more scores, get more type of offense started through the rest of your arsenal, because we know they have some elite scores over there at Centura.
And I beg your pardon, the timeout was by Guardian Angels. The Blue Jays have the ball. A missed shot out of the inbounds play.
But Skoda with the offensive rebound, and I mean, this is against a really good rebounding team.
Skoda misses, gets her own rebound, puts it back up again, and she's fouled. And a chance for free throws for the senior forward.
Jocelyn Skoda snagged 2 offensive rebounds on the same possession. Finally collected the foul, got herself to the line.
First one is off. The waves of substitutions from this Guardian Angels Central Catholic team as well.
Well, it allows them to, keep that pressure, keep that pedal to the metal defensively, and it's working for them thus far. I don't know if they could have got off to a better start here, up 18-3.
Well, we saw Grand Island Central Catholic earlier today. They like to get out and run as well, but they run 5 deep. That's it. Meanwhile, GACC trying to do the same thing, and they've got depth.
Yeah.
Baseline shot too strong. Rebound cleared away by Baumert. Pass stolen away. Nice job anticipating by Kennedy Davis. Running layup good as Wooden knocks it down.
That is a very welcome sight for all Centurions out there, getting Wooden, your leading scorer, involved offensively.
Kennedy Davis looks a lot like Sydney Davis, who was a big part of that team last year. Three-pointer and one. And my goodness, someone put a heat check on Kelsey Steffen.
She can do no wrong. I mean, she is so hot from beyond the arc. And that was a deep, deep corner three.
Nearly hitting our sports director, Brandon Axeman, over there.
Got to be aware over there, Brandon.
Steffen hits the free throw. She cannot miss. She's got 12 points.
There's a good word to describe her, grit. Because she had to keep that concentration, knowing that she was going to take that contact on, following the shot.
Davis's pass intercepted by Skoda. Skoda gets the pass back, hits the free throw line shot. And my goodness, Andy Klassen, this is a well-oiled machine.
And they say scoring and shooting is contagious, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that right now for the Lady Jays.
Wooden takes contact. She's fouled. And if you're Latham Brown and the Centurions, you've just got to claw your way back into this game.
Right, just settle down. There's not a 19-point play in the playbook. You're going to just have to chip away from here on out.
Inbounds pass into the corner, three-pointer blocked. And this is going to go out of bounds off the Blue Jays. I don't think Guardian Angels Central Catholic fans agreed with that.
Well, let's see. We'll get a good look at it here.
Hard to tell, although the Centurions do then end up turning it over as stepping on the sideline out of bounds.
Yeah, Centura just can't buy a break right now.
Blue Jays with the Jumpman logo on their jerseys, and they're playing like Michael Jordan. Skoda with another great cut to the basket. She's now got 7.
And the quick feed in stride, hitting her in stride on her way to the rim.
Blocked, but a foul. 2 free throws upcoming for the Centurions.
Rasmussen with a good take, settle things down. This is a good way to, chip away at a lead like this from the foul line.
Lubert picks up her second. So each team has a player with 2 fouls. First free throw no good from Rasmussen. Second one off as well, and guess who clears the rebound? It's Steffen. Blue Jays running the floor again. It's Skoda.
Blown assignment on defense. Somebody's got to get back. Where we're seeing excellent communication on one side, not so much on the other.
It's one thing to see the Blue Jays just cruising on offense. It's another against this defense.
I mean, that's what they've been hanging their hat on all season long, and it's been getting better and better throughout the second half of the season.
Running shot no good, but the offensive board, and 2 free throws upcoming for Carly Sokol.
Another tough take, but good work working the glass, getting that second shot opportunity.
Sokol, a junior, averaging 4.1 points per game. That one rattles in. The foul was on Baumert, her first. Each team with 4. Second one's good as well. That'll end the quarter. 4 touchdowns for Guardian Angels Central Catholic. And the Blue Jays with the 28-7 lead. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on News Channel Nebraska.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Blue Jays looking to keep the foot on the gas pedal. 28-7 Guardian Angels on top, and that's exactly what they do. Three-pointer from Isaiah Kreikemeyer. Her first points of the night, and it's a 24-point edge for the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays can do no wrong. I mean,
this is an impressive performance, Andy Klassen. Running baseline shot, no good. Steffen clears the board. Blue Jays run again. Skoda left-handed layup, good. She's on fire tonight, Andy Klassen.
yeah, being very selective with their shots, getting behind the defense once again in transition.
Skoda averages 9 points per game. She's got 11. We just started the second quarter.
You said it, 4 touchdowns there in that first quarter.
Well, they added a safety and a field goal in the second quarter. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound cleared by Dinslage. And again, the run out. This time, Centura back in time. Crossover dribble, reverse layup, no good. Rebound cleared by Centura's Rasmussen. Davis running toward the basket. What a take from Davis.
Long strides, got her there in a hurry. Might want to look back, look her up a couple more times.
Blue Jays a little more patient this time around. Three-pointer up, and that's too strong from Haas. Centurions with the board. And again, the double team from the Blue Jays, and stepping in is Steffen to get a near steal. She's knocked to the floor, as we see on the replay here. And that's another foul on the Centurions.
Steffen just beat Rasmussen to the spot. Playing with anticipation, the backside of that zone. Not allowing in those passes across the center of the court.
Lauritsen into the game for the Centurions. Centura trying to tinker with things a little bit, trying to get something that works. Three-pointer by Steffen off to the right, but the rebound caroms to Skoda. Steffen on the run, shot no good, offensive rebound, put back no good, rebound by Davis. Centura dodges the bullet, but some more offensive rebounds from the Blue Jays.
When you saw really good defense altering some shots, those are tough shot selections from Guardian Angels. So maybe that defense that we've been talking about is starting to come alive here for the Centurions.
Centura, patience here, as you mentioned, got to claw your way back in. Davis on the run again, now out for a three-pointer. That's off the mark. As we saw Coughlin finally back into the game for the Centurions. She's who missed the three, but she'd sat for a lot of the first half due to foul trouble, as there's another foul on the Centurions. Much to the chagrin of the Dexter lookalikes in the Centura student section.
Is that what's going on there? To accompany the wide out.
Wooden is who picked up the foul. Steffen keys it in. Three-pointer. No good, but another offensive rebound. Steffen will take a crack, rebounded by Davis. Wooden wants to go. And I believe we're going to have a foul, as there were two Blue Jays reaching in on Wooden. That was Haas who picked up the foul.
Boy, she's just been phenomenal operating this offense, especially in transition. She gets the ball, her head's up, eyes are up, and boy, she's been looking up a lot of, run out layups. That's due to her getting that ball ahead through the deep pass.
It'll be Lauritsen at the top of the key for the Centurions. Wooden on the run, shot too strong. Good box out from Dinslagi, and back come the Blue Jays. Another foul, and this one I believe will go on Wooden. That's her second.
Yeah, and I think this is, we're kind of at the point where she has to stay in the game.
Yeah, they're going to have to ride this one on the rims, probably, if they want to make any sort of comeback. Blocked by Davis. She has such length, Andy.
Yes. She's had an impact offensively. You just saw some defense right there.
Just a freshman, but as mentioned, comes from that familial background.
Right.
She's got basketball in her blood. Wooden, long three, buries it.
And then Wooden with the play defensively.
Nearly forces a steal. She's got that grit. We've seen this time behind us. 5 points now for Wooden, and the Centurions are going to have to get her going.
Yeah, and in some cases, she's going to have to find her own shot like she did right there.
Steffen drives in, kicks it out. Three-pointer, too strong from Kreikemeyer. And the board cleared by the Centurions. We mentioned it. Centura needs to get back-to-back buckets, string some things together. Here's an opportunity, but a steal by Steffen. She's going to take it coast to coast. 2 more points for Kelsey Steffen, and Latham Brown wants a timeout. Back with more after this on News Channel Nebraska. Well, the sign says Blue Jays are taking the dub. There's a lot of game left to play, but they're in good position, leading 35-12.
Let's be real. This is an unbelievable start that Guardian Angels has gotten off to.
Well, Wooden hoping to lead the charge for Centura. Three-pointer too strong. And a scramble for the rebound. Great hustle by Fanta.
I tell you what, Patrick, you never know what's going to spark a comeback or a run of your own. That was a great hustle play right there, as you mentioned, from Fanta.
Wooden gets into the paint, dumps it off Davis. No good, but a foul. And right now, this is Centura trying to force the issue. You got players trying to make plays.
Yeah, and Wooden, just the determination to get the ball to the post. We've seen Kennedy Davis have an impact offensively, and on the other end with a couple block shots come to mind. There she is connecting with the foul shot after a beautiful feed bounce pass from Wooden.
She hits the first, another one upcoming. No good, but the offensive rebound won't get the putback, however.
But you're seeing the fight, Patrick. You know, the defense that we've been talking about from Centura, maybe it's coming to life here. We're seeing a couple offensive rebounds.
Long possession for the Blue Jays, and we get a foul against the Centurions. You know, Guardian Angels, Central Catholic, they can slow it up. They've got the skill to be able to do so. Kind of forced a little bit of maybe impatience from the Centurions there.
Right, but that's also a foul that, you know, I can kind of live with if I'm a Centurion fan, thinking, look, we got to get aggressive. We got to get after it, try and generate some steals, some turnovers.
Nearly got just that from Wooden. The splits, though, to keep possession for the Blue Jays. However, that defense stays feisty, forces a turnover.
And that's something that travels well, even to the state tournament. Your defense, get off to a cold start offensively. It's okay. Lean on your defense. Create turnovers and more shot opportunities. I was going to say, Lubert was really smart there. Heady play, went down to that one knee, but didn't come up. Otherwise, she would have got called for the travel. Blue Jays turn it over anyhow.
Three-pointer buried by Sokol, who's now got 5 points.
Okay. That's a lethal combination, isn't it? Defense and a good three-point shooting team.
And another steal. Don't forget the halftime highlights brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. They'll help you make your dreams come true. Another offensive rebound.
Is this going to be a jump ball? Yes, it is.
We wanted to see a spark for Centura. Yeah, still a long way to go, but goodness gracious, are we getting that spark?
You know, and Fanta fighting for that offensive rebound. You know, she was laying all on the line. You never know.
Bank three-pointer knocked in by Sokol. She's got 8.
Okay, here we go.
You know, for as strong as Guardian Angels have been, they got to kind of feel like they need a bucket to keep momentum going into halftime.
It definitely feels that way. This Centura crowd has gotten loud and very proud.
In the paint, blocked by Davis.
Plenty of time.
Here comes Wooden. 3 seconds. Out to Davis for a long three. No good, but Centura closes strong. A long way to go. Guardian Angels, Central Catholic with a 35-19 lead. But we've got ourselves a ball game. Let's send it to break. Back after this on News Channel Nebraska.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitor Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Zollner Ford and Lincoln. Meeting your sales, service, and parts needs. 5 Points Bank. Trust a better bank for your financial needs. And by Family Physical Therapy. Getting you back in the game.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding band, so we'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
I've had the opportunity to work with so many outstanding students and parents in my 37 years as a public school teacher. The two things I've noticed they all have in common: a love for their community and a pride in their school. I've seen that pride in my science students who become scientists, in parents who show up for every game and every parent-teacher conference, in former students who become community leaders. Nebraska public schools are indeed the heart of our communities.
Welcome back to the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Guardian Angel Central Catholic with a 16-point lead on Centura at the half. You know, we talk a lot about what it takes for athletes to make it to state, but it takes a lot for the fans as well. A lot of traveling, a lot to figure out for parents, and it takes, frankly, a lot of grit to be a fan, and that's kind of a theme for Centura. You know, last year when they won the state championship, their fans made signs, G-R-I-T. They said grit, and they would hold them up, and that was kind of the theme for the team as they won the championship last year. Well, when they won the title, they decided to start a new tradition. They've held on to those signs. Somehow they've been able to keep 4 pieces of poster board without losing them. And there are 4 parents here holding up the G-R-I-T grit signs on the Centura side. Now, they're not doing it right now because you don't need a whole lot of grit during halftime. But during the game, those parents are standing the entire time holding those signs, reminding Centura of the grit it takes to win, not only from the player standpoint, but from the fans as well. Pretty gritty second quarter for Centura. Does it mean a comeback is coming? Well, we'll find out soon enough. More halftime show coming up. You're watching the D1 quarterfinals on News Channel Nebraska.
John Henry's is now offering electrical service. Our service professionals have been helping with plumbing, heating, and cooling in Lincoln and the surrounding areas for more than 25 years. Now, we're proud to offer the same level of professionalism in our new electrical service. From a whole home rewire to adding new outlets or electric car chargers, John Henry's can be your one-stop shop for all your home's needs. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. Our family serving yours since 1996.
The way we use electricity has changed a lot over the years. What hasn't changed is our commitment to make sure it's there the moment you need it. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
One of my passions is always to help entrepreneurs, whether they're starting off right away or they've been in business for a long time. And for me, I believe that our community is the strongest when everyone chips in with their own expertise and passion, that's going to lift the tide and raise all boats. That's intentional. Intentional culture means a lot. I have the personal satisfaction of being there along the way.
Halftime in the Bob Devaney Center. Guardian Angels Central Catholic on top of defending champions Centura 35-19 in the Class D1 quarterfinals. Let's take a look at the highlights and see how we got to this point. Guardian Angels started off red hot. Stefan, who had 14 points in the first half, hits a three, then connects on another, plus the and one. Stefan was on fire. So was Skoda, as the Blue Jays got her out running. Connects on this layup off the long pass. Then another three-pointer from the Blue Jays, as it was Kreikemeyer. Then Skoda on the run once again. Stefan once more, this time with the steal and the fast break layup for the Blue Jays. But Centura wouldn't go away quietly. A long three-pointer, as this one came from Carly Sokol. Then another three-pointer. Sokol trying to keep the Centurions in it, coming off the bench. And that's where we are at halftime, 35-19. My friend Andy and I are going to take a look at some analysis, but let's take another quick break. Back after this on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Well, a strong start for Guardian Angels Central Catholic is an understatement, but some momentum from Centura closing that first half, Andy Klassen.
You knew they had that fight and that grit, as we just heard in the Centurions, and you saw it to close out that half. Great defense leading to offense, and hey, you know, a banked in three, a little help here and there. That's what it's going to take for Centura to chip away and really get back into this one.
You know, we talked about it quite a bit. Both these teams love to play defense. Centura has held a foe to 3 points in a game that mattered. That, I think, shows just what a well-oiled machine Guardian Angels Central Catholic is.
Yeah, and you feel good if you're a GACC right now. You build a lead, you got off to a great start, but you don't feel so great that you can just, you know, rest on your laurels here and not worry about a comeback, because you know Centura is more than capable of coming back in this one. So I'm really curious how head coach Jerry Strachey is going to attack this second half. Is he going to want to come out firing like he did in the first half, or is he going to want to take his foot off the gas a little bit, bleed some time?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, too, how Latham Brown and the Centurions respond, what some of the adjustments are that they make as well, because there were a lot of those runouts from Guardian Angels Central Catholic. What's the adjustment there, and how do both sides sort of react to those adjustments?
Yeah, Centura, it's simple for me. They got to get so aggressive on defense that there's no opportunities for those runouts, because they're attacking and getting those loose balls, those 50-50 balls, getting more offensive rebounds, you know, kind of negating the opportunities that GACC was taking full advantage of early on in this game.
Let's take a look at the rest of the field. What we're seeing here in this tournament. We've got Class D1. So 5 of the 6 state champions from last year are back. Millard South in Class A, the only one that's not. But we're not going to have repeat champions in all the classes.
No, we're not.
Because Pender moved down from C2 to D1. They've already moved on. They beat Bancroft Rosalie. St. Mary's also beat McCool Junction. Now we've got defending champ Centura in D1 taking on Guardian Angels Central Catholic. And then after this one, we'll have Southern Valley and EPPJ, Elgin Public Pope John. So this is really a stacked bracket in D1.
It's the only bracket that has 2 returning champions, and Centura, the returning champs, they're on the ropes right now.
Indeed they are. Thanks to Currency for a look at that bracket. Let's take a look at the map, what that looks like too in this bracket. Eastern half of the state, really, for the most part. A lot of northern Nebraska, as you can see up there.
Northeast Nebraska well represented on this graphic, and then Southern Valley, they encompass, I don't know, 15 counties down there, but quite a few communities.
Loving looking at that map. Love looking at the face of Eric McKay as well. Let's send it over to him for some halftime analysis.
35-19 Guardian Angels Central Catholic with the lead. Talked to both coaches. Coach Jerry Strachey of Guardian Angels told me he hopes they didn't use up all their shooting goodwill in the first quarter. Thought they could have executed a little bit better on the offensive side in the second quarter, and said defensively they need to do a better job locating Centura's shooters and closing out. As for Centura, Coach Lathan Brown said obviously they need to get back in transition defensively a lot better. Even on some of those misses that GACC had, he thought the looks were way too easy. One thing to watch for the Centurions in the second half, a defensive adjustment. Coach Brown said this is not a team known for playing man-to-man, but they're going to have to try to complete this comeback. Guys?
Thank you very much, Eric. And that it is interesting at this stage in the game, having to see that kind of level of adjustment in this second half. Got to throw everything but the kitchen sink if you're down 16 at halftime.
And true to his word, Centura in that man-to-man defense.
Steffen fires up the quick trigger. The shot no good. Rebound Centura. Steffen led all scorers with 14 points in that half. No wonder she wanted to fire up that shot.
A little heat check coming out of the break.
Not sure if her head coach feels as good about that with that quick fire with the 16-point lead. Davis fires up the 3, no good. Offensive rebound taken away. As coming up with it is Haas. Behind the back dribble. She's into the paint, kicks it out. 3-pointer, Skoda, no good. Rebound hauled in by McDonald. She wants to run. Into the corner it goes. Davis 3-pointer. That's off the mark. And we've got, I believe, a foul on Centura. Lathan Brown, not a big fan of that call. I think he thought it was going to be a held ball.
Right, a jump ball or a loose ball, no call. Still a well-dressed young man. Looking good.
He last year was the talk of the state tournament with the crimson velvet jacket that he was saving for Saturday. He said he brought it with him, but recognized that there's a lot of work to get to that point. That was even before this game started.
Reminisce of the old Tiger Woods wearing red on Sunday, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Got to make it through the weekend before you get to put on that type of gear. Well, I like what I'm seeing from Centura thus far. They're obviously going to lean on the 3 ball to get back into this one, but they're being quick and decisive with their offensive possessions.
Guardian Angels Central Catholic seems pretty happy to let them shoot those 3-pointers, and now a steal by Haas. Three-pointer on the way and buried by Lubert, her second of the night. And now Guardian Angels has doubled up Centura, 38-19.
Yeah, they've had a couple really good looks already in this, opening third period from beyond the perimeter. Finally knock one down.
Whoop, travel. As just a little bit of indecision from Rasmussen.
Yep, got it up in the air with nowhere to go with it.
We're sitting near the Centura bench. You can hear some of the communication. Things are getting real. This team hasn't packed it in, But they got to make forward progress in this third quarter.
Yeah.
And we've got a foul away from the ball. This one's going to go on Centura. Picking up the foul is Fanta.
Yeah, and a couple of these early whistles, I think the officials are just kind of sending a message to Centurion saying, look, we're not going to allow this to get into a rock fight or a shoving contest. We still want this to resemble a basketball game.
Fanta hasn't officially made the scoreboard, but she's had some big hustle plays. Another one as she's on the floor, forcing the jump ball. It'll still be Guardian Angels Central Catholic basketball, but you can credit Jenna Fanta for getting on the floor and fighting for the basketball.
Yeah, and she's playing defense down the post there. You know, she's not the tallest player out on the court.
Haas goes up to get that inbounds pass. Stefan on the run. That's a high degree of difficulty.
I mean, you saw who she shot that ball over. The 6-foot Kennedy Davis.
40-19, and another steal forced by that Blue Jay defense as it was Dinslagi pulling it away. Three-pointer from the left side. That's too strong from Luber, but the offensive rebound and the running shot by Dinslagi. She's got 6.
You can just see it starting to develop. Guardian Angels getting into that rhythm offensively once again.
And the Blue Jays have erased that late run by the Centurions to close out the half. Centurions being patient. They don't have a ton of time, but looking for the best shot possible as Davis throws it Fanta. Back out to the top it goes for a three-pointer. No good from Coughlin.
A good hustle.
And it's going to go the way of the Blue Jays. Coughlin took looks like potentially an elbow to the chest. She's going to come out.
You can't fault the effort here. Oh, my goodness.
No, it was actually the scorer's table that provided that damage as we look at Latham Brown. Blue Jays leading by 23. Looking to keep the foot on the gas pedal.
Nice feed.
Underneath, and what a shot from Skoda. Her hot night continues. 13 points. She averaged 9 on the season. Three-pointer, no good from Rasmussen. On the run, Skoda has it poked away by Wooden.
Once again, great hustle shown by Wooden with the recovery defense. Does it look like another run-out layup attempt for Skoda?
Blue Jays fire it in. Shot from the free throw line, no good. As unable to connect was Dinslagi, but it will stick with the Blue Jays as it's batted out of bounds. This was always a tough first-round matchup for Centura. It's always a tough first-round matchup for anyone.
Right.
But the performance of Guardian Angels tonight has been incredible. Their only 2 losses of the season are to a very good Class C2 Crofton team. They're the only team to have beaten C2 defending champion Pender, who's the top seed in this D1 bracket, as Guardian Angels connects with Kreikemeyer once again. She's got 5.
Kreikemeyer's been putting in really good minutes for Guardian Angels since she's checked into the game.
Wooden with the spin move. Back into Wooden it goes. She's fouled before she can get to the basket. Foul's going to go on Bommert. It's her second.
Got her with the reach in.
Davis with it at the top. Three-pointer on the way, left short by Haydenfeld. Pretty good look, though.
It was. Right on line.
Three-pointer by Kreikemeyer. That's a long two, actually.
Yeah,
Suddenly 7 points for her.
Talk about being right on line. My goodness.
That's a name you hear in West Point a lot, Kreikemeyer.
Yep.
Wooden, good job to hang on to possession. Nearly a steal by Haas as she went airborne. Haydenfeld thought about a three.
But look how that defense can get back into position, close out, not allow for any wide open shots, even though the Blue Jays gambled and didn't come up with it.
Well, we're going to get a travel against the Centurions. Might have worked in the NBA. That kind of jump stop is acceptable there.
I think Sokol actually hit that three after the whistle. I mean, that's just kind of been the type of night Centura's been treated to.
Regardless of what happens in these final 9 minutes and 15 seconds, what Centura has done the last couple of years has been nothing short of incredible as Bommert gets her first 2 points of the night. And the future remains bright for the Centurions.
Right. A lot
this
of
person
underclassmen.
Yeah, this person right here, Kennedy Davis, hits the three. She's just a freshman. And Latham Brown wants the timeout. We're going to keep it here as it's just a 30-second timeout. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Andy, but yeah, a lot of young players on this team, and you can really feel a culture developing for Centura. But there's a culture over there for sure, too, at Guardian Angels Central Catholic. My goodness, what they've got cooking tonight is something.
And there has been a culture over there at Guardian Angels Central Catholic. But they are led by senior Kelsey Steffen, and we've seen her stepping up the stat sheet once again here at the state tournament.
I'll accept it.
Okay. That's a little bit of a reach there.
I'm 6.5 feet tall. Everything's a reach for me. 50-22. Guardian Angels Central Catholic on top of Centura. We're under 40 seconds in this third quarter, and three-pointer buried by Dinslagi. She's got 9.
I mean, it just doesn't stop. It won't stop. The multiple offensive weapons, all of them hitting here tonight. GACC defense creating another turnover.
Well, we got a chance to look at our pals, Lou Siefker and Kaylin Debin over there for a second as the basketball nearly hit them. Also, Doug Duda.
Yes. Flood
Everybody in the company. Yeah.
Well, you took a look at that graphic there, you know, all those communities we serve.
Bommert pushed underneath the basket. Happy to be with everybody from Flood Communications here this weekend. A lot of radio games, a lot of TV games. A total of 18 over the course of 3 days just on TV. Several more on radio as the three-pointer from Dinslagi left short. Centurions try the half court. A tad too strong. We head to the final quarter. Guardian Angels Central Catholic on top of Centura, 53-22. Back with the fourth quarter after this on News Channel Nebraska.
Atlo's fiber internet has definitely increased the productivity of our office. It's one of those things with internet and being a marketing company, we have to have it on and running all the time. And it's always up. We don't run into lags, we don't run into latency issues. It doesn't vary throughout the day, it doesn't vary on weekends or busy time periods. We have local service here. We need to go talk to somebody. They're just a quarter of a mile away for us to be able to chat with somebody. And that is a huge peace of mind for me as a business owner. So I would not hesitate at all to recommend Allo to anybody.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo. High-key internet for a low-key price. Want to see what games we're covering? Follow on X at NCN Sports.
(53-22) Guardian Angels Central Catholic on top of defending champion Centura as we start this fourth quarter. Of course, the fourth quarter brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more at Lincoln.org.
I mean, you want to see how a 2-3 zone defense is supposed to operate. Just watch these white jerseys and how they rotate with the ball.
Davis in traffic, gets the shot up, but it's no good, and the Blue Jays look to run. This time they fight off Skoda. In fact, we may have a jump ball. Active hands from the Centurions.
Coughlin not giving up an inch. Getting her hands in there, tying that one up. Yeah, that double team just kind of converged on Skoda. She had nowhere to go with it.
Steffen shot left short. You mentioned Coughlin. That kind of changed the game pretty early when she got 2 fouls in the first quarter as Skoda stays red hot. 3-pointer, and the lead is 34.
Skoda's had a whale of a game. I mean, just offensively, leaking out the back end, getting a lot of runoff points in transition. But yeah, the spot up Jay from downtown, that's been there as well.
She's got 16 points, averaged 9, put back by Davis, no good, but she's fouled, taking a rump to the midsection as she tries to put up that shot. She's going to go to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, obvious foul call. Steffen was trying to get position and box out, but then continued to box out after, Davis was in her shooting motion. Easy whistle for the officials.
Davis now 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight. She's got 7 for the game.
And when they came out after that halftime break, they were looking to get Davis started with the 3-point shot. She was just off the mark on a couple of them, but the spot up 3-pointer is obviously part of her offensive game.
She can really run the floor, especially for as lanky as she is. I say that as someone who's lanky and struggled with that. A block by Davis, but they're going to get her for the foul.
Well, you were a collegiate trackster. Do you think that's Kennedy Davis? That kind of looks like her makeup to me, like those 110 hurdles just kind of glide over them, right?
Well, we'll find out during track season when we've got state track on News Channel Nebraska as Dinslaggy misses the first free throw.
It's always so much fun to be part of that, broadcast that all weekend long.
Second one is good. 57-24, Guardian Angels, Central Catholic on top. And another steal, this one by Kreikemeyer. What a block from Woodner. Not really a block, but swatting away the pass. That's a hustle play.
It really is, and we've seen that a couple of times from Centura where it looks like it might be an easy deuce on the other end. Not the case.
I think she was trying to find Haas. This one is a block from Davis. Latham Brown calling for the Centurions to run. It goes to Davis, free throw line. 3 players collapse on her, force the turnover. Great hustle play from the floor by Haas. She fires it for Kreikemeyer. Kreikemeyer fires up a three. My goodness, it doesn't get any easier if you're going against Guardian Angels Central Catholic. They just keep the foot on the gas pedal.
Multiple shooters. You have to guard from sideline to sideline, baseline to baseline, as we've mentioned, with the cherry picking going on here tonight.
Kreikemeyer has 10 points off the bench for the Blue Jays.
And she came in, early in that first half when, a couple players got into foul trouble early on for Central Catholic and just done a fantastic job. The pull-up triple, true once again.
Ball goes flying past our faces. I realize it wasn't that close, but I'm not a tough man. That's scary for me.
You don't have the grit of the Centurions.
I do not. That's why I'm sitting over here. And another hustle play, although they're going to get Wooden for the foul. I thought that might be a jump ball.
Going to be our third.
I think Wooden agrees. She had a little bit of a look of frustration at that foul call. In the paint, shot off the glass, no good. But the offensive rebound from the Blue Jays, although Baumert, as she tries to clear space afterward, commits the offensive foul, just kind of lowers the shoulder.
Yep. Wooden, I believe, beat her to the spot here.
Wooden's just kind of a gnat.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I mean that as a compliment.
Yes.
Wooden fires the three. It's off the mark. Rebound hauled in by the Blue Jays. And ahead it comes with Tolene.
Wooden that cuts off the would-be drive to the hoop. An antagonist, right?
Yeah.
Defensively.
Not in the villainous sense, excuse me. Julianne Ritter with her first 2 points of the night, and it's 62-24. Blue Jays on top.
Ritter, one of those underclassmen, 5'11" sophomore for GACC, getting some minutes in down here at the state tournament.
Jumper left short, nearly getting her own rebound was Rasmussen, but it'll go to the Blue Jays, and Kreikemeyer gets an ovation as she comes off the floor.
Well deserved.
We're getting to the point where we got to start thinking player of the game, and Andy, we're going to have a lot of choices.
Yeah, we really do. And we mentioned her a couple of times, but the point guard, Isabel Haas, I love what she brought to the table. A lot of those, fast break points were due to her having her head up, eyes up, ahead, and advancing the ball through those long, lengthy passes.
Speaking of lengthy, Davis, the lengthy freshman for the Centurions, connects on the three-pointer, her second of the night. She's showing those flashes. Man, Kennedy Davis is going to be a good one.
Yeah, and we started talking about it a little earlier, but there's a lot to be excited about for what Lathian Brown has got started here. The head coach for Centura already has a state title under his belt last year, made it back. Here's the 7 seed the following year, so very little let down. And yeah, there's some underclassmen with a lot of promise.
Had a foul on the Centurions. Centura thought contact was made with the ball prior to it going behind the midcourt line.
Didn't have full control of it. That's why you didn't hear the whistle.
Davis gets her mitts on it. Wooden wants to run. It's her versus 2 defenders. She goes to the basket, can't get the bucket. Rebound cleared by Baumert.
You do love seeing this. The fight continues from Centura.
Gonna miss seeing Wooden at this state tournament. She's been a lot of fun the last couple of years.
Really has been.
She's, of course, got the knee brace this year. Blocked by Davis. Seriously, she reminds me of she's a carbon copy of Sydney Davis in a lot of ways. Three-pointer up, too strong. Wooden tries to save it, but she's on the line.
Quite the hustle
we'll
play.
go back to the Blue Jays.
You know, and one of the things I've noticed, getting, you know, maybe a little off topic here, but we saw it in the last game where Adams Central, their student section went with the white out. Well, Sydney was wearing their home whites. It was like you're cheering for the wrong team. Look what's in front of us, Centura with the white out.
Are you blaming the student section?
No, I would never do that. I'm just thinking, you know, I don't know. I'm just seeing patterns is all, Patrick.
Fair enough, fair enough. That defense forces another turnover.
It is good to see Wooden still out there, though. Nice drive. Oh, just off the mark.
And we're starting to feel, you know, both teams kept the intensity up for a long time. We're starting to reach that point.
Yeah, a lot of
where
substitutions.
I think there's the realization,
Yep, a lot of substitutions, underclassmen in there.
The Blue Jays are in the bonus.
You got to think there's going to be a substitution here for Cairo Wooden, and I'd like to think we're going to get a standing ovation from both crowds here, home and away.
Free throw good. (63-27). Guardian Angels Central Catholic on top of defending champion Centura. Three-pointer rattles out. Halfway down for Rasmussen, but it wouldn't go. There will be a new champion in Class D1. Still a possibility that it could be a defending champion, though, as Pender is still alive. Ritter now with 6 points after connecting on that layup.
Good motion away from the basketball there. Made herself available.
Foul, as trying to get to the basket was Lauritsen.
Fouls on the Blue Jays, number 10, Abigail Tobin. That's her first personal foul, 13 foul.
And here it is. Round of applause.
And no matter who you're rooting for, always tough to see that scene. Senior who won this tournament last year has to come off to some tough emotion. But the Centura fans appreciative. We see some big contact here. And sometimes, you know, you get players who aren't on the floor as often. Sometimes there's a little bit trying to gather your sea legs. That's how you get some of these collisions. It's nothing intentional here.
What a career, though. And Wooden, once again, just having a stellar season. Over 300 points scored. Good for a 12-point average. 105 steals. Just tenacity on defense.
Her effort last year was one of the indelible marks of the state tournament, as the Centurions just having trouble tonight. Things aren't clicking, and well, Guardian Angels will do that to a lot of teams.
Yeah, they really just, you've heard the term before, ran into a buzzsaw. Well, they really did tonight with Guardian Angels. I don't know if they would have lost to anybody. The way they were moving the basketball, shooting the basketball, everything they touched turned to gold.
And they are now a minute from moving into the semifinals as the drive from Tolene Good take from her, and it's a 41-point lead for the Blue Jays. And we are at running clock moment here, under 40 seconds. Well, not a turnover. It was tipped away by the Blue Jays. And we're going to stop the clock. And we'll get back to running the clock. And the defensive intensity continues for Guardian Angels. Three-pointer, no good. Great save, but stolen away by the Blue Jays. They want to run once more. Bodies hitting the floor. 6 seconds, 5, 4, and you know what? Baumert gets another 2, and that'll end the ball game. 70-27. Guardian Angels Central Catholic with one of the most impressive performances we've seen at this tournament so far. They're moving to the semifinals. We'll take a break. Be back with postgame after this on News Channel Nebraska.
Salas weaving in, weaving out, and skying for...
Hey sports fans, looking for a convenient pit stop before or after the game? Look no further than Good To Go convenience stores. We're here to keep you going. Fuel up your tank with a refreshing drink and grab one more snack for the road. Good To Go, your winning play for game day.
And hey, I can dunk it too.
Good To Go convenience stores. Fuel up for the game locations in Lincoln, York, Geneva, Bruning, and Hebron.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said...
It wasn't, but this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Zollner Ford and Lincoln. Meeting your sales, service, and parts needs. 5 Points Bank. Trust the better bank for your financial needs. And by Family Physical Therapy, getting you back in the game.
Hi, this is Misty. Here at Family Physical Therapy, we strive to go beyond your symptoms, ensuring you have access to quality, individualized care. We offer physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Family Physical Therapy has an excellent staff that cares about our patients' success. Whether you're suffering from a sports injury, a stroke, or working to improve balance and coordination, Family Physical Therapy is here to help. When you're here, you're family. Visit us at one of our many Nebraska locations today.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Well, here with the victorious head coach, Jerry Strachey, Guardian Angels Central Catholic, and coach, Centura kind of gritted their way back into it a little bit in the second quarter. What did you see in terms of execution that allowed you to re-extend that lead in the third quarter and put this one away?
Well, I thought we kind of regrouped there towards the end of the quarter and executed a lot better than what we started out as. Like I said, when your shots fall, everything else looks good.
This team passes the ball really well. They seem to find each other pretty well. What's it been like watching this team kind of evolve into sort of what you've seen here at State so far?
Oh, it's been a very, very fun group to work with. Great seniors. We're going to be sorry to see them leave, but they work so well together as a team. We're very balanced when it comes to scoring, so it makes us very hard for the other team to guard. But defensively, we got after it, and we were able to hold them down for a little bit.
What's going to be the key the rest of the way? You keep the intensity up. What's going to be the biggest key going forward, do you think?
Well, we're going to continue to play defense, and hopefully take care of the ball and maybe get us lucky and have those shots fall again.
Excellent. Well, Coach, great job tonight. Congrats, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our player of the game, Kelsey Steffen. Had a phenomenal first quarter. Helped her team to the win tonight. Kelsey, come on in. Congratulations on being our player of the game. I was telling your coach this. I don't know that I've seen a team at State pass the ball as well as your team does. What is it about this team that allows you to find each other so well?
Everybody just communicates well with each other. We've been playing since we were little kids together, so that also helps because we gel really well together, and we just trust each other, honestly.
So you get off to that great start, Centura. They're a good team. They kind of get back into it there. What was the message at halftime? What was the key to re-extending that lead in the third quarter?
Well, we kind of got a little shaky second quarter. We got a little wound up, but Coach calmed us down in the locker room. He said, it's all right. Just take your time, trust each other, and the rest will come.
Guardian Angels is a squad that has won a lot of games for a long time. What is it like playing for Jerry Strachey?
Oh, it's amazing. I love him. I love our staff. They're all very supportive. Nobody ever gets terrible, like mean or anything, so he keeps it really nice and chill for us, and he just loves us.
It's obviously working. Kelsey, great job tonight. Congrats on being our player of the game. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
As Kelsey Steffen, Guardian Angel Central Catholic player of the game. Guys, let's send it back to you.
Guardian Angels Central Catholic victorious over the previous state champions, Centura. Andy Klassen, just a clinic put on by the Blue Jays tonight.
Complete performances I've ever seen down at the state tournament. I thought it was pretty difficult for a head coach, Jerry Strachey, to try and poke holes in his body of work, but he somehow did it, just like all good ball coaches do.
70-27, the final score. Let's take a look at the highlights and see how we got to that point. Class D1 State Girls Basketball Quarterfinals. Second-seeded Guardian Angels Central Catholic and the 2023 champions, the Centura Centurions. Kelsey Steffen was going early on. The three-pointer and the foul. The old-fashioned four-point play. Then Skoda just running it out, getting the long pass and laying it in for two. Then we get Kreikemeyer with the three-pointer for the Blue Jays. Then Skoda going all the way to the basket once again. Then Sokol gets the three to go for the Centurions, trying to keep Centura in it. But Steffen remains too much. This time from the free throw line, knocks it down. Then Dinslage in the paint, or rather Skoda. Then Davis hits the triple for the Centurions, trying to keep them in the ball game. Fourth quarter, Skoda stayed hot. She was almost our player of the game as well, as she nearly doubled her scoring average. Then Ritter keeps it going for the Blue Jays as they just kept their foot on the gas pedal. They get to celebrate, moving on to the semifinals. And that's where they'll be. They'll take on the winner of Southern Valley and Elgin Public Pope John, a matchup we'll have shortly on News Channel Nebraska. Let's take another quick break. We'll be back to wrap things up on News Channel Nebraska.
Solder Ford and Beatrice has options